they were incredible bikes at the time because for not so much money, I think it was the beginning something like €3,000, you could buy a TZ.
TZ was a very good bike, frame, engine and everything. For win, we must have everything perfect. Driver, bikes and the team.
Donc 4 cylindres, 2 temps, 6 vitesses.
These bikes were prepared, manufactured to be ready to race and ready to win, because every year the world champion and all the top 5 riders were just riding TZ.
Les plus c'est la vitesse 300 à l'heure, les moins c'est la vitesse 300 à l'heure parce que ça fait vraiment vite.
If you had just a standard TZ, it was maybe not good enough to finish on the rostrum in Grand Prix. So you had to understand the TZ, you had to bring some small modifications and improve it a little bit.
This bike was not absolutely distinctive to your competitors' one, because all competitors were riding TZ. So finally, when you were buying a TZ, you could win, but also you have to fight and to be the best rider, because all the other competitors were riding with the same bike. So advantage, disadvantage, depend your talent.
The best race I have with Yamaha was Daytona, I think. Daytona, and also the other race, and Imola, Paul Ricard. I have a lot of good races.
For my first complete Grand Prix season, 77, in Hockenheim, I had problems in practice, I seized. So I was just taking the start of the race with not so much hopes, even to finish. And finally, it rained during that race, and I won the Grand Prix in front of factory Kawasaki.
J'étais en 77 championnat du monde 750 en Espagne à Jarama, où je pars dernier et je fais podium, 3e. Il y aurait eu 2 tours de plus, je pourrais gagner.
2 years ago or 3 years ago, and I was riding on the YZR 500 from Christian Sarron, and I was on the straight line just before Seynes curve, and I was 6th gear, 12,800 RPM, and the engine blocked suddenly. And I don't know the speed, but it was over 250 at least. For some second, some stress. But as I have said, I tried to evacuate quickly. But I remember, this one I remember.
I think it's very difficult to remember everything. Yeah, sometimes something happened, but we must forget quickly, because otherwise you don't go fast.
Une plus grande frayeur, c'est Daytona 80, où j'ai explosé le Villebrequin sur le banking, tout en haut du banking, à plus de 300 à l'heure. Et j'en suis sorti vivant. Et là, c'était vraiment une grosse frayeur.
Of course, the biggest fears you could have on a TZ was when you two-stroke at the time. It was reliable, but depending on the settings and the whole we used, there used to be some engine seized, and when you seized at maximum speed and you're not prepared for it, suddenly you're thrown in the air.
On peut citer Sarron.
I think at one stage I was maybe one of them.
Maybe not crazy, but maybe Jarno Saarinen was very good rider, very fast rider, but he take a risk. Always he go 110%.
For me, the most impressive one was definitely Jarno Saarinen, because the way he was riding was so pure, and with the same bike as the others, he was just dominating.
I think today is a lot of electronic. This is why I don't like 100%. So it's difficult to decide my old bike and the bike of today. Maybe today bike if we take out a little electronic.
Of course, one of the time, I mean the 500 unrideable, as the press called it, the unrideable 500 is to me the best bike you could. I'm so happy that I drove all my career with all those bikes, with no electronics, nothing.
J'aimerais bien piloter une moto d'aujourd'hui parce que c'est complètement différent et je serais curieux de savoir comment ça fonctionne.
A GP bike remains a GP bike. It can be a GP bike of the 70s years, 80 years of today. It remains the top of technology, the top of racing. So for me, the desire for a TZ of the 70s years or M1 of today is the same.
Yeah, for example, here at Paul Ricard on the TZ750, I was timed at 299.7 kilometers.
I think 295 kilometers per hour.
Bah, on a été chronométré au bout de la ligne droite au Bol d'Or avec les 750 TZ à l'époque à 296.
My speed record is, I know him clearly, it's 312 and 312 kilometers per hour on the R1, Superbike R1 in Portimao, and he started to make some wind.